So you are most welcome to my YouTube channel. Please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and also hit that notification bell in that you do not miss this information about farming. So today in this video, I would like to introduce to you the aspect of farming, the risks, the challenges that you might incur in a piggery farming journey. So about farming is an enterprise. It's an enterprise that really involves a lot. It involves so many skills. You might have a skill in marketing. You might have a skill in management. You might have a skill in production, technicality in production. You might have a skill in accounting, financial management. You might have all those skills. So construction is one of the skills that farming demands, because at the end of it all, you need to establish some kind of structures. So it is also a skill that you might you might need in the way. The other skills needed are basically welding. You look at this work done here. It's just an interaction of a welder and a technical person to see that you come up with this kind of structures that are going to maximize the use of small space that we have here. And of course, you also look at the nipple system in front there. That is a work of a plumber that is necessary to cover the farm. So at the end of the day, you have an electrician needed still at the farm. You have so many skills that are captured into farming. So as a person going into investing money in farming, also thinking about how to make money out of your investment, how to make profit out of it. So you need to see that you equip yourself, you equip your team, you build a team that can actually run your farm effectively, efficiently. So a lot is going into efficient production, in that you need small resources to see that you can actually maximize the output at the end of it all. You do not need to invest alone. There is always this saying of what is the best alternative to the investment. The choice you're making right now, is it the best choice? Is it the best for you to neglect the alternative that you could have made where to invest that money? So looking at big farming, a piggery enterprise is an enterprise that is going to really do so well in terms of growth rate, in terms of multiplication rate, in giving you so many piglets. Check out what a cow can give you. A cow can give you one calf, and maybe with the milk. A pig is going to give you over 15 piglets. We have had pigs here giving us 20 piglets. We have had pigs giving us 22 piglets. So you find that the multiplication rate of a pig is so good, and it does not actually give birth once. A pig can give you 2.5 times a year. I mean 2.5 times a year because within that period it would have farrowed twice, and it should be pregnant again. It should be gestating again. So you realize that if it's going to give you over 15 piglets times 2.5 times a year, it is you who's going to see that you reduced that period. Instead of having 2.5 times a year, you are achieving less than that. That means you're not maximizing the potential of that animal. So at the end of the day, you're looking at the growth rate of a pig. A pig can reach market stage at even 20 to 24 weeks. So at the end of it all, you're looking at an animal that you're going to rear between 22 to 24 weeks at your farm. But still, amidst all that, there is a challenge. Of course, it demands resource in terms of feed that you are going to consume, because at the end of it all, these are animals that are going to check into your pocket for the feed sustainability at the farm. And that's why I always encourage stocking your farm based on your capacity. So do not stock it so small, but also do not stock it so big in that you fail to actually run. You run out of resources and you fail to run the enterprise. So you need to stock your farm basing on your capacity. Looking at what determines the stocking rate of the farm, it's basically the mothers. As you see here, this is quite a number of mothers. There are around 20 of them when you look at all this line. Then of course we also have some others. Here we are having a capacity of 50 mothers, but then it can even go beyond that. Look, if you have capacity to actually have so, because the market out there is a lot. So it is your ability to look out for those markets that should actually improve your stocking rate as well. So you check out the market, what the market demands, how you're going to meet the market demands, and see that you produce basing on what quantity the market is demanding. So at the end of it all, you're looking at a very good enterprise basing on timelines that you should actually meet. So the key thing about farming, how best you're going to reduce the risk, is basically getting to know, equipping yourself, or training your workers. Train your workers, because in most cases you might not be there at the farm, you might not be at the farm, but your workers are the ones making decisions at the farms. So rightly equipping your workers with the key skills necessary to run a piggery enterprise is very good for the smooth running of the farm. So train those workers. Those workers, whenever they get to your farm, they have an opportunity to learn, and most likely it might not work out so well for them at your farm, and they might end up in another person's farm. It is still okay as long as it is you've added value in that worker. It is still very okay. And just train your workers for the benefit of your farm or for the community. It is still very okay. It's the reason why we go to school, and it's the reason why we are also making this kind of videos, so that you actually benefit out there. So the key thing about training the workers and yourself, equipping yourself with necessary information. A lot of information is out there in the medias, in the internet. A lot of information about is out there. It helps you to make right decisions, because at the end of it all, you need to be able to make strategic decisions for the running of your enterprise, for the successful running of your farm. So that is the most important thing, is basically knowledge about the enterprise, be it goat farming, be it poultry farming, and of course dairy farming. It's all about getting to know about the enterprise, the strength and the weaknesses. And you find that market out there are a lot of opportunities that show up on the road, on the way, and definitely you can see that how best you can get into those opportunities. Then a steady growth is still very okay for an enterprise, and you find that with the piggery, when you purchased 10 good mothers, and that piggery enterprise demands a certain amount of resource, a certain amount of money in terms of construction, in terms of the nature of a structure that you should establish for that enterprise is different from a structure that you're going to establish for a 30, a 50, 100 sour unit project. So you should be able to know, you should be able to identify the size of the farm that you want to start, in that you invest basing on that size of the enterprise. You base your investments, and basically you know the demands in nutrition, the demands in feeds. You find that feeds actually take a lot of money in this enterprise. A lot of money. You find that around 75%, around 70% goes into feeds. And with that, it is an opportunity, because you're looking at an enterprise that is also going to support another farmer out there, another farmer planting maize, another farmer doing soybean farming, soybean planting, and of course other farmers out there and other traders that are doing sales of so many things. So it's an enterprise that is supporting all those people. So at the end of the day, feeds is an area where we should all look into. We should all look at as a key area running these enterprises. The moment our feed costs go so high, that means it becomes challenging for the farmer. So feed cost determination and maximization of those that area of feed cost is really very key for the survival of this enterprise. Basically, you're going to give the feed into the animal. In most cases in feeds, people are looking at performance, but they forget one thing: the cost. You should be looking at how much am I spending in this formula that I've got from a feed seller A or a feed seller B. Then how is the performance of this formula? But what are the differences in terms of the cost effectiveness of this kind of formula? So at the end of the day, you can make comparison between feed suppliers in terms of performance, in terms of cost, and of course in terms of availability of that product in the market. Those are key areas where you can actually draw your conclusion: should I go with this feed, or should I not go into this feed? You can basically look at the formula you're given and try to cost that formula in terms of unit costs after mixing, and you see how is it looking at, and you compare it with other unit costs from other feed sellers. At the end of the day, you come out with a decision that you're going to make for running your enterprise. So ideally, the pig farming business is very good. A lot of people out there eat pork, and the market for pork is there, and basically you can enjoy if you're producing a quality product that the market demands. A lot about these days is that people basically demand lean meat, and in Uganda here it's a lot about lean meat compared to meat with fat. So if you're going to produce pigs, you shouldn't produce pigs with a lot of fat, because at the end of it all, you are wasting resources and producing a kilogram of fat is more higher than producing a kilogram of lean meat. So you check on your genetics, check on your feeding strategies and how you're feeding your animals. That is really very key in that you get the right strategies for running your farm. So thank